It was 50 years ago today that three Americans started one of the greatest journeys in human history. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins were the three men that were launched on the mission to land on the moon. That launch was on this date back in 1969. It was July 20th of that year that Collins would stay in the command module as Armstrong and Aldrin made their way down to the lunar surface. Armstrong, of course, became the first man to walk on the moon that day. Buzz Aldrin following him out a short time later. In all, they would spend 21 hours and 36 minutes on the surface of the moon before a rest period and then their ascent back to the command module. Well, today, Michael Collins, who was orbiting the moon, returned to the launch pad where that mission started 50 years ago today. He said it was wonderful to be back, but felt very different without Neil and Buzz there to share it with him. Aldrin was an unexplained no-show for the ceremony. Neil Armstrong died back in 2012.
Armstrong's son was a part of an event at the Smithsonian's Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. Armstrong's spacesuit has been refurbished and is back on display for the first time in 13 years. Extensive work went into getting it ready to be put on display. There's also a custom mannequin inside that was created right down to Armstrong's exact measurements. It's meant to help keep the spacesuit in better shape.
And tomorrow, the Rockies will have their own tribute to the moon missions and Colorado's aerospace industry. Former shuttle commander Steve Lindsay will throw out the first pitch at tomorrow's game. He's now vice president with Sierra Nevada Corporation, and a model of Sierra Nevada's Dream Chaser will also be there on display. There will also be a replica of Neil Armstrong's spacesuit on display at the ballpark starting tonight. Colorado's aerospace industry may play a role in one of NASA's next deep space missions. And a team of CU people there want to launch a couple of suitcase-sized satellites to study binary asteroids. Basically, two asteroids that orbit each other as they orbit the sun. It's called the Janus mission. It would help scientists understand why that happens. It's one of three that NASA is considering for approval.
I think it's ours to lose, right? But that means that we have to nail everything and give NASA complete confidence that we can push ahead and actually construct these spacecraft, launch them, fly them.
The team at CU has a year to come up with the final blueprints and presentation for NASA, and if chosen, Lockheed Martin would be the one building the satellites. Under the current proposal, the mission set to launch in 2022. It would take the satellites at least 4 years to actually reach their target.